sides, on and off. Oh, that's 6 more. This is extraordinary. What an over. It has gone for 32. It is hero, 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 hero.
Kieron Pollard did not look happy at all. And I think that was very clear after that thwacking he got at the hands of Darren Bravo. I mean, just a superb over. Tom, would you reckon that Pollard was having an off day, or was Darren Bravo just in beast mode?
Pollard over the years has bowled less and less mainly because of injury. He's had a few knee issues. But something I'll tell you about Darren Bravo is that he has got a phenomenal 6-hitting record. He deals in sixes. He's actually got more T20 sixes than he has fours in his career.
Oh, wow.
He certainly has that in the CPL, and I'm sure that is pretty much the story in all T20 cricket. So he's got a remarkable ability to hit sixes. He's got a beautiful bat swing. A lot of people liken him to, he's got a lot of composure like Brian Lara. So he's got a lovely bat swing like Brian Lara. So he's got the ability to access, hitting those sixes because he's got such a good stance and bat swing. Pollard is only just, he's a very medium pace bowler. So if he does get it off, on the day, it's, someone like Bravo, Darren Bravo, that is always going to cash in. I remember that game. I commentated that game. And the one thing to remember about those sixes, they weren't little sixes. They were big daddy sixes. They were well back into the stands and at times on the roof.
Danny, this was a large total that the Trinbago Knight Riders were chasing. It was, I think, 210 or 214, I believe it was. Do you reckon that, and as we heard, that Pollard went for 32 runs in that over, do you think there was just a bit of laxity, perhaps, that, they've got a big total? Would that, and it was the 16th over, would that play in the mind of a bowler to say, we've got enough runs yet in 4 overs to go, so in case I get a couple of balls out of my length, then, and I get hit, it's okay?
Not in this situation, because of the other guy that was at the other end, which is a certain Brendan McCullum. So there's no place to hide. And the other thing that I was there with Moods as well, because Michael Slater was on air, and I remember having to look after Slats that summer, that CPL, tearing around the Caribbean. And we were up in the combox and very blessed to see this fixture. And that hats off to Pollard as well, because he has a good change of pace. But as Mood said, if you're slightly off, you're going to go the journey. And he had come on in that very crucial time, the 16th over, and he backed himself to do the job. Came in as a very experienced guy up against his Trini brother, who's obviously in a different coloured shirt at the other end. And there's that rivalry thing again. Both the Bravos, whether it's DJ Bravo or Darren Bravo, don't you worry. Kieron Pollard likes to do well against them, either one of them. And it was their night, those in red and black, on a very good surface. And that's the other thing I would say, is that St. Lucia, I probably think is probably the best track going around consistently with pace and carry for the strike makers to really enjoy themselves. And that season in 2018, the ball slid on really nicely, and there was a lot of six hitting. And a lot of us commentators were out of our chairs, well, most of the time anyway, yelling out the window, having a ball. But, Darren can play, there's no doubt. And as Mood said, a lovely pickup, modelled himself off his idol, BC Lara. No doubt. And, timing, superb.
What do you reckon Pollard said to him at the end of that over? I know they had a couple of words, it seems like.
Well, the famous one from Merv Hughes, I'm going to rip your head off and do something down your neck. He'll be right in your face doing that. Moose will know. No holding back. Just get straight in.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for that. Another superb golden moment for us. I believe we have another audience question, and Nikhil is right here with it.
Right. So before I head into the question, everyone who is joining us right now, please make sure you have more questions come in. The best questions win free NFTs. So make your questions count. Now, the question for you, Tom, is the onslaughts like this, where there are 5 sixes in over 4 consecutive ones, probably 5 consecutive ones later on, as we'll see. Are these more about you reading the bowler, guessing their line and length right, or is it sometimes pure bravado and just backing yourself that I'm going to go after the bowlers come what may?
I think it's one of those moments where the stars align. When you're in that sort of when you're on that type of roll, you have that momentum. From a batting perspective, you've got good conditions to bat, where you've got a surface where the ball is coming on nicely. It's very hard to hit multiple boundaries on a poor slow wicket or a low wicket. So if you've got a good surface, number one. Two, if the matchup is there's a certain bowler that you have a good rhythm against, and you back yourself to hit them for sixes. That needs to be there, and you need to be composed during those multiple balls. You can't sort of go harder and even harder at the ball as you're hitting 6 after 6. Otherwise, you're losing what is commonly known as losing your shape, where your head comes off the ball and you're not getting the timing that you would normally get. So it's keeping a consistent process with your ball striking and not getting too carried away, and hitting your areas. Making sure that where you're looking to hit the sixes are your areas of strength, and that might be straight down the ground, or it might be over mid-wicket, wherever that may be. You're sticking to that, and you've got to also consider the bowler's under enormous pressure, so you've got him under the pump. And more often than not, when bowlers are under the pressure like that, they tend to find it difficult to hit those right areas they need to do to try to close the over and defend the over effectively.
Right. Danny, is that true? Is that how bowlers feel?
It is. Well, you only had to look at Jimmy Neesham, and that where he's bowling to Andre Russell, and he had to get a Yorker in, didn't he? Or 2 of them. One went for 4 and the last one went for 6 against Jimmy Neesham. So it's about the pressure and who copes well with it, i.e. then you look at a Lasith Malinga. You get it right and you get the Yorker so sweet that it's very difficult to get underneath, to get the leverage to whistle the ball out of the park. So that's why those star quality bowlers, they stand out, because they're that good and they do finish. Or if they've been pumped a little bit in the over, they can finish out the over and come back because they're good. And you've got to back your skills. But Mooj is right in the situation. Surface is your way. Everything's going nicely for you, and you're in the groove. You're in a good patch of form. Weigh all those things up. Difficult for bowlers to stop that sort of momentum.